Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to first wish happy Father's Day to everyone, to all the fathers obviously, and also happy Father's Day to a lot of my dad's friends, a lot of uncles who have been a father figure to me for many years, and thank you for everything. And the word father brings a lot of things into mind. It means love, affection, security, safety, protection, a lot of things, compassion, a lot of things that kindness, a lot of things that come with the word father. So all the very best to all the fathers, and God bless you all the time. Today I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today it's my 100th legend, and I have been keeping AB de Villiers for my 100th as my 100th legend, and I thought it was always fitting that he would be the 100th legend. The first legend was Don Bradman, arguably the greatest batsman of his generation, and still regarded as the world's best batsman in terms of his average. And then you talk about Sir Vivian Richards, who was the greatest batsman of his generation. Then you talk about Sachin Tendulkar in the modern era before 90s, 2000s. And then in the modern era, AB de Villiers together with Virat Kohli will probably be the best batsman of the modern era, and especially AB de Villiers, because he was just an amazing batsman, extremely talented and super gifted batsman and a sportsman. He was born 17th February 1984 in South Africa, and he is famously fondly known as AB, and also as ABD, and also as Mr. 360 degree, because of the way he could play shots all around the wicket, especially behind the wicket as well. And he has played some unbelievable shots in his life, shots that no one thought would be possible. He's the first one that I've seen hit a six on the offside or from a back foot shot. He was just crazy, and I always remember my dad once told me that he's just mad in a good way. Obviously, in my language, he said when AB de Villiers was playing a blistering innings, he said he was just in a mad zone, and that's very true. When AB de Villiers was going all guns blazing, you just couldn't bowl to him. I mean, forget about bad balls, even the good balls used to go for sixes. In all, he played 114 test matches for South Africa, and he scored 8,765 runs at a very good average of 50.66, and he scored 22 hundreds, and his highest was a 278 not out against Pakistan that came in Abu Dhabi in 2010. And in one-day matches, he played 228 one-day internationals, and he scored 9,577 runs at a very high average of a 53.5, and he scored 25 hundreds, and his highest was 176. I mean, considering his immense talent at 22 hundreds and in test matches and 25 hundreds in one-day nationals, it doesn't do justice to his talent. But AB de Villiers was just a pure entertainer, and he never bothered about records, and he just played the way he did. And AB de Villiers is also one of the few first batsmen that I always predicted that would be a great batsman, and he definitely did that. And he was widely loved and respected all around the world. Even when he retired, Cricket Australia put a video for AB de Villiers. And it was one of the most famous test match innings that he played was at Perth, the first test against Australia, where South Africa had a target of 414 to chase. And AB de Villiers scored a match-winning century, and that was the second highest ever fourth innings total achieved by a team in cricket history. And AB de Villiers also has a world record. Obviously, he is the fastest to 50 runs, 100 runs, and 150 runs in one-day internationals. I mean, in that pink day, I mean, it was a pink day where South Africa were wearing pink outfits because of the AIDS day in South Africa. I think it was January 15th. 2015 or January 18th, that day against West Indies, he was going crazy and he scored 16 balls, then he scored 131 balls, and he finished with 149 of just 49 balls. He was just absolutely impossible to bowl to, and he was just hitting sixes and fours at will. It was such a pure entertaining day, and everyone who was at the ground, everyone who watched the match will never ever forget that. And in that 2015 World Cup against West Indies, he also scored 162 of just 66 balls. That was at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and that made him the fastest to 150 as well. He had already broken the 50 and the 100 in that pink day match against West Indies in South Africa, but in that 2015 World Cup, he broke the record for the fastest 150 also. And he was so well out. One thing that I have to say about AB de Villiers is the only first time, and probably the only time I'll ever probably see that AB de Villiers played his 100th Test match at Bangalore Chinnaswamy Stadium, where he obviously plays for Royal Challengers Bangalore. And when AB de Villiers came to bat, the whole Indian crowd was chanting ABD, ABD, ABD. And it was the first time I've seen so much love shown towards a foreign batsman, and even the Indian players, Kohli, etc., were kind of laughing and smiling because of the way the Indian crowd was giving him such a welcome to AB de Villiers. And he scored 85 as well, but that match was rained out, and it didn't happen. I mean, it was like abandoned. I mean, only 2 innings, not even 2 innings was played. But he at least could bat, and he scored 85 on his 100th Test. And in that 2007 World Cup, I'll never forget, I mean, when AB de Villiers was young, that first group match against Australia, he scored an absolutely fabulous 92, and he almost, Australia had a big 300, huge score, close to 400, and South Africa looked like they were going to chase it, but AB de Villiers' 92 innings was absolutely fabulous. He was just a fabulous batsman who had all the shots, obviously, and he was such a destructive and innovative batsman as well. And he was an absolutely superb fielder as well. I mean, he was an excellent fielder, so safe and run-outs, and he could catch. He was a very good slip catcher, and he could catch at any position. He was a brilliant all-round fielder, and he always reminded a lot of Jonty Rhodes because of his acrobatic fielding, and also the way, the innocence that he had about him. I mean, in 2006, it was against Australia when he ran out Simon Cattidge, and that was one of the most brilliant pieces of fielding you will ever see. AB de Villiers was at a short cover, and he dived for a ball, and he stopped the ball, and even before he could get back on his feet, in that position that he was almost on the floor, he threw the ball to the stumps, and he hit the stumps directly, and Simon Cattidge was run out. That was the most fabulous run out I've ever seen. After that, Jonty Rhodes run out of Inzamam Hulk at Gabba in the 1992 World Cup, which made Jonty Rhodes so famous. And he also, AB de Villiers is also the first South African to score a double century against India when he scored 217 runs. And in that 2011 World Cup as well, he scored 2 successive centuries, and that made him the first South African to score 2 centuries in a World Cup. And it also made him the 5th batsman to score 2 successive centuries in a World Cup. The first was Mark Waugh. I think Saeed Anwar is one, Rahul Dravid is one. I forgot the 4th person. And AB de Villiers almost like had a premature retirement as well. I mean, because of a lot of politics, he kind of retired. Otherwise, he could have played a lot more. 114 Test matches, yes, he played. He could have easily played maybe 150 Test matches or more, and even one-day internationals, maybe 300, 350. But there was a lot of politics and things that he were unhappy with, so he kind of retired. And he scored tons of runs for the RCB as well. And AB de Villiers' a huge friendship and brotherhood with Virat Kohli is also very famous among the cricketing world. And just like Sachin Tendulkar as well, I mean, like I said, AB de Villiers was one of the most well-loved, admired cricket players all around the cricketing world. And everyone loved watching AB de Villiers when he had a bat in his hand or when he was on the field. He was an absolute live wire when he was on the field. He was South Africa's heartbeat when South Africa bowled. He had such an enigma and presence about him, and he was such a talented person as well. I mean, he plays tennis, he sings a bit, plays the guitar, and he was a multifaceted sportsman. And AB de Villiers is once against England as well. I think he scored 174. I think it was at Headingley when that deciding Test match against England. And when AB de Villiers was in full flow, there is nothing much you could do. I mean, he was just an immense showman, an absolute superman on the field with the bat or with the in the field as a fielder, taking absolutely brilliant catches, one of the most safest catches you'll ever see, and also getting a lot of run-outs for his team, and just the positive attitude that he had, and he's a wonderful gentleman as well, or very humble and very down to earth, and a perfect gentleman on and off the field. That is why he is so loved around the world. And he also used to do wicket keeping for South Africa. That is another duty that he used to do. It's sad that he could never win the World Cup. He was the captain in that 2015 World Cup, and he really wanted to win that World Cup, but That is that match where Dale Steyn was hit for a six on the second last ball by Grant Elliott and South Africa were out of the World Cup. But AB de Villiers' contribution to cricket is immense. The entertainment that he brought to cricket lovers is just magnificent. It's almost unparalleled. I don't think anyone in this modern era has entertained the cricket public as much as AB de Villiers. I mean, his shots all around the ground. I mean, cover drives, quiet cut, pull shots, flick shots, sweep shots, reverse sweeps, and even the scoop shots that he used to play that I don't normally advocate. But when AB de Villiers used to play it, it's fine because he was such a talented batsman. One of the most immensely talented batsmen that has ever played the game of cricket, and such a wonderful gentleman and such an acrobatic fielder who had all the enthusiasm and passion for sport, cricket. And he was such a gifted player. Thank you, AB de Villiers, on behalf of everyone, for all the amazing memories you have given, and you will always be loved. And you will always be fondly remembered as one of the greatest cricketers of all time and one of the most entertaining batsmen of all time. Thank you so much to everyone. Take care. God bless you.